All right, so if you, like I said, if you don't want to be spoiled by Aquaman, if you're watching, go ahead, shut it off or whatever, and come back later or whatever. But we about to do so we'll give you 3 seconds to shut your shit off. Okay, here we go. All right, Aquaman.
If you're still here and you don't want it, you did it to yourself.
Right. Aquaman, DC's Aquaman, okay? So the movie came out. I heard it's real successful in China, man. They said, they already did like on the first day or whatever, they did like 100 mil, and it's still going up or whatever. So
because I think they get closing in on 300 million,
and that's just in China, right? So they ain't even tripping off the money over here. I mean, of course they want it, but they already made their money in China. You know what I'm saying? And ain't the director?
Like,
is the
they
director
don't need
Chinese?
nothing, man.
James Wan, is he Chinese?
James Wan, I think I'm not 100 on him.
Right. So I mean, that really boosts their sales over there. You know, they probably was like, you can throw a couple Chinese people, you can throw a couple Asian people in there, but you know, because you know his dad, he was Polynesian, I believe. That guy, the actor, that's the dude who played as Django Fat, his dad in there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you probably didn't recognize him.
Yeah,
he didn't have no hair, but that was him.
Okay.
So, all right. So Aquaman is doing gangbusters in China. It's pretty. It's coming out here in December 21st, this Friday. So, all right, we saw it and had some problems with it, but overall, it was a good movie. I liked it. I enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun with it. I just had a little problem with some of the narrative or some of the writing on some of the scenes. But other than that, it was still a good, fun movie, in my opinion. What was your overall opinion about it?
Overall, I enjoyed it. You know, like everyone that's asked me about it up until now, like my immediate answer has been that it's a beautiful movie. It looks really good. Like the only thing I can really slam them on is that writing. So.
And that's what we're gonna really jump into on this spoiler discussion. Because usually when I do spoilers, I just talk about stuff I really didn't like, but I talk about stuff I did like in detail. So okay. So Jason Momoa is playing Aquaman. He did a great job, as a matter of fact. He did a great job, by the way. And it picks up after Justice League, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody did mention Steppenwolf or whatever. Real quickly, it's like they trying to get away from the Zack Snyder universe, but they still in it, but they trying to pull away slowly from it. I think that's what they trying to do.
I was reading, they were talking to James Wan, and he was talking about he did that on purpose because he really wanted to suggest the Aquaman movie.
Right, and that's cool. But you can't. All this the look and all that came from Zack Snyder, though. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pay him some homage. So this is after Justice League. Aquaman went back home, and I guess he lived somewhere where it's by water. Do he live in like an island or something? Like
I think it's just some coastal city.
Okay.
Some cove.
Okay, so he went back home. And they show kind of it's a / origin story. They show how his mother washed up on the shore. She ran away from home because she didn't want to marry somebody or something like that. Which isn't that the Little Mermaid story? And I was looking like, you know what? Somebody came to me was like, hey, this looked like the Little Mermaid because old girl Mira looked just like the Little Mermaid, and they showed the
oh my God.
They showed the dude with the trident. They was like, he looked just like the Little Mermaid's dad. I was like, damn, it's a lot of similarities there. It's a lot of similarities there. So,
oh man.
So we're gonna get to all the meat, all that. So, all right. So you know the whole story, and the mom fall in love with the dude. You know, they come take her back. Blah blah blah. Okay, let's start from where. So she come. What's her name? Amber Heard character come back say, hey, we need you to come and take over as king because the other dude, your brother, your half brother, gonna take over and he's gonna bring destruction upon everybody. That's kind of cliche to me because I was looking like, yeah, I've seen that story like a million times.
Yeah.
I mean, what you think about the overall plot, how they handled that, or that as the plot?
I mean, it's not really a new plot line. You know what I'm saying? Like, as far as, you're the rightful heir to the throne, you have to go get the king's legendary weapon from where it's hidden and come back and prove you're the king. It's been done a million times.
Right. But the thing is, he's not the rightful heir. The other dude was born through the king and the queen, so you got a bastard, just like when kings go have sex with chambermaids and they get pregnant, that's your bastard. He has no right to the throne. You know what I'm saying? He's a bastard in the royal sense. He didn't have, they could just take his royal blood and have him challenge the throne. They can do that, I suppose. But I mean, that was their whole game where they were saying, okay, we got to find a way to get this dude off the throne, and only way is through the bastard child of the queen. So okay, like I said,
who they don't really want nothing to do with.
Right,
but
I know.
He's all they got.
Right, that's what I'm saying. And like I said, the story been done to death. Dude, he didn't really want to take it, and for real, like, he probably don't want to do shit but like surf. He like a surfer dude. Like, he don't surf. I don't know if he do surf, but they pretty much play him like a surfer dude jock, which is cool. Okay, let's go with some. When we set our villains up, you had Ocean Master, which I told you it was a stereotypical. I'm the rightful king, and I'm going to wage war on everybody, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay. So then we got Black Manta. Now we're gonna start to where we had our disagreement and all that. So we can talk more in detail about what happened. So, okay. They went with Black Manta's second origin because Black Manta had two origins. Well, he had a couple origins I was hearing. He had like three. But his original origin was, remember I showed you that clip? His original origin was he was just a black dude, an African-American dude that went down to Atlantis and was just trying to take over Atlantis for black people because Earth was too racist in America. So he was like, I just want to take Atlantis. Which I'm looking like, damn, I can't believe they had the guts to do that shit. But they went with the second origin. They went with the second origin is he was a pirate and they killed his dad. Aquaman caused the death of his father, so he wanted revenge or whatever. That was his second origin.
Yeah.
So that's a simple origin, okay? And you said that, and I agree. You remember that?
Yeah, I remember.
All right, so this is where we start to disagree. So Aquaman, Black Manta and his dad, they took over this submarine. They took the submarine and they was pirates. So they was taking they weren't just taking boats, they was taking subs, like like highly advanced submarines and shit. So they took over this submarine. Aquaman came to stop them. Okay. So the cliche moment is, okay, you did a crime, something went wrong, somebody died, and you blame me. Okay, that is cliche. I agree with you on that. Are we in agreement so far?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna get your thoughts on this. I'm just setting it up. So, okay, where it changes for me is if Aquaman decided to be a superhero and stop criminals and shit, you can't just kill people and then leave. And so I'm gonna set this up. So Aquaman get down there to stop them for taking the sub. They fight him. He whooped their ass. And basically they was trapped because it's a sub. So he whooped their ass and they was trapped. And then Black Manta, now the guy who played him, his name is, oh my goodness, he got a what's the name? He got a Muslim name. It's like Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. Do not ask me to say that again. Okay, that's the guy who played Black Manta. So he whooped their ass, and now they trapped in this sub. And then he was like, "Okay, you whooped our ass, man. Just take me to jail. Can you save my dad, please? You could just take us. You could just drop me off on the surface, and you can throw us on the surface, knock us out, throw us on the surface, and they'll take us to jail." And Aquaman was like, "Fuck off. You got yourself in this mess. Get yourself out. All right, fuck off. See you." I had a problem with that. Now, and you said from that point on, when that happened, Black Manta was like, "This dude, fuck this dude. When I see him again, I'm gonna kill him." So you had a problem with that motivation. Now tell me, from your point of view.
I don't have a. So like, it's not the motivation. I get the motivation. My problem is like, within that moment, when he's begging Aquaman to help his dad. Yeah. Like, I have a real problem with folks being so capable of like ruining lives, and then the second some shit happens in their life, all of a sudden it's like, come on, I don't deserve this. It's like,
I know what you're saying.
Yeah, you do.
I know what you're saying.
And as far as Aquaman not doing nothing, like, that's also keep in mind, Aquaman still has no intention of being a hero at this point. Like,
well, if he didn't have no intention of being a hero, why is he going there to stop this damn hijacking? You know what I'm saying? You should have do nothing then.
Because I don't even think it was about the people. It was just like, honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if it was just that like some alert was going off where he could hear it, and they was, he was sitting on the water chilling, and they was pissing him off. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what it was.
I mean, I got you, but you were saying before that it was just a typical villain motivation. You tired of that same old shit, and like I said, I agree. But that's what changed it, because usually in these movies, the villain would cause their own death, or the death of whatever loved one they had, and then they blame the hero even after that. So I can understand that's a cliche thing, but in this point, he could have saved him, like easily saved him. You know what I'm saying? He could have just walked up to old boy, knocked him out, and threw their ass up and say, "Hey," and put him with the rest of the people, the hostages. It's like, "Hey, make sure to please take them motherfuckers to jail. All right, I see you." You know what I'm saying? Whatever, But I mean,
guess it just feels too much like, if a bank robber gets, shot in the middle of a robbery, and then like his brother or something will swear revenge against all the cops that were there that day. I'm like, you asked for this.
But no, it
like, it's a part, like it's just a part of that lifestyle. Like, that's a given that could happen at any day. It's just the fact that a dude was there that could have saved you. And that's the only thing it is.
Think about this though. Aquaman is super, right? If we was fighting on equal footing, then I would have had a chance. But since I didn't know you was a super being and you beat my ass, so you beat you as a super being, the least you could do is knock my ass out and throw me in jail instead of just leaving me for dead.
If they wanted like that, they should have given up the second they found out he was super. Instead, they started trying to keep going and keep going and keep going, and then they got themselves in the mess they got themselves in.
Okay,
it's like if you in Metropolis, you run up on Superman, you got a bazooka, but it's like the room is too small for you to be using a bazooka. And the explosion doesn't do shit to him, but it blasts you into the back of the wall, caves your head in. That's on you. It's not Superman's fault for not managing to save you from your own stupidity.
That's not the same thing, dude. because they had the situation uncontrolled till he showed up, and everything that happened is because he destroyed everything. So, and I'm not saying that he was wrong or they wasn't wrong or whatever. I was just saying his motivation was real. For after that moment, I'm not just mad that it happened, but I'm mad that, I'm mad that dude left us for dead when I asked him to save my dad. Kill me, save my dad at least. Nope, fuck y'all, So at that moment, I understand his motivation, why he was so pissed off and so wanted to take this guy out. You know what I'm saying?
Like I said, I get his motivation. I believe his motivation. His motivation is real. It's just that that line of motivation is one I don't need to see in movies anymore. Like at least for a while.
Well, but I'm saying that changed it for me. That it was real cold that Aquaman left them for dead, opposed to they caused their own death, or he caused his own death, and the hero couldn't do nothing to save him. You know, usually that is usually the thing, where you know what I'm saying, the hero was trying to save him, but oh shit, I was too late. Well, you know, and then the villain like, well, you know, they just blame the hero just because they need somebody to blame or whatever. But that wasn't the case. He had time to save him. He just said fuck him. So that made me say, you know, that made me feel why he was pissed off at that one dude. And let's not forget, his dad's last words to him was, "You need to live,
that don't
son."
mean shit to me.
You said what? What'd you say?
Yeah, that bit didn't do shit for me.
All right, but what I'm telling you is that's even more motivation. So he's like, "You need to live, son, so you can kill that son of a bitch." Which I love that line because I didn't expect that shit. He didn't say, "You need to live, son, so you can have kids and bring me some grandbabies." No, he said, "You need to live, son, so you kill that motherfucker." That's up there with the Morgan Freeman line on Wanted and shit. Shoot that motherfucker.
Shoot that motherfucker. Yeah.
But I ain't gonna just stay on that one point. But I felt this motivation. It was a cliche motivation, but I just think the little minor changes they had in the writing made it cool for me. But it didn't save it for you, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Like
after Aquaman, after the action scenes, this was kind of the formula. You do action, rom-com, action, rom-com, action, rom-com. And what I mean by rom-com is him and Amber Heard, Jason Momoa and Amber Heard, they scenes together were played like a romantic comedy. And I really did not, I ain't gonna say I hated it, but it was out of place to me. It was like they was trying to be funny to make their movie more light, but it got on my nerve. How'd you feel about all that? How you feel about their interaction?
Like, every time they'd have their little scene together in the middle of but in between the action, I couldn't help but think like I could write the trailer voiceover for that part of the movie. Like, she's a princess from under the water. He was just a fisherman's son.
Yeah, no.
They could never work, or could they? Like, it's all 90s rom-com between them.
Yeah, dude, and I'm looking like they play it off like he the dumb jock, she the smart girl or whatever. Yeah. And when they showed this part on the preview,
the dumb jock with hidden depths.
Right, yeah, exactly. Well, she don't know that until she get to know him. And you were more than a dumb jock, and you're more than a stuck-up princess. I love you. I love you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's how it was corny as, you know.
That's what it is.
Yeah. And I didn't care for that. And they had like a little treasure hunt aspect. How you? Okay, so of course, like you said, the plot goes, we got to get the bastard child to beat the what they call the heir, the ocean master. What would you call him? The proper born king,
the rightful heir.
Okay, so we need the bastard child to beat the rightful heir, and we have to find the special trident or the super weapon or whatever. It was a legend of whatever. It's supposed to be a legend, but it was real. Corny, but
yeah.
The super trident.
Because it's like King Atlan's trident is basically King Arthur's sword here.
Right. So that's supposed to be Poseidon's, right? That trident they was going to get, Poseidon's trident.
Whatever they called it.
Right. I mean, it was supposed to be Poseidon's actual trident. I'm thinking, right?
No, because they talked about how King Atlan had it made.
Oh, okay, whatever. So it's supposed to be this dope ass trident. It's supposed to be better than everybody else's trident, or whatever. And this is what they use. And trident is a staff with like a fork at the end of it. So this is what Atlanteans used to fight with. So this trident supposed to be a super dope ass trident or whatever. and there's a whole
the mightiest
story.
fork of them all.
So when they done with the action, they get away. They run away to the kingdom. Now we go on this treasure hunt, rom-com treasure hunt. Okay, between and you got and you got Jason Momoa and Amber Heard and Mira and Arthur Carey. We're going to find this trident. So now we're going to go on a treasure hunt. They played it like a couple or National Treasure maybe. How'd you like the whole treasure hunt shit?
I didn't need it. Like, it could have easily just been, we know where we're going, but homeboy keeps sending people at us every time we stop to change, transportation or whatever.
Yeah.
I would have rather it have been that than, and now we have to go here, and now we have to find this, and what does this mean? I know.
And the clues was like so corny. Like, so this means this. Oh, it means turn to the left. Oh, so look through this.
It's and they turn part of it into the now she really gets to know him for who he really is.
Yeah, no,
like
that's
where
what
they're
I'm talking
in
about.
Italy, it's like okay, I know all about this guy, and this guy was like this, but only this one.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm talking about. So at the beginning, they had some nice little cool scenes when they introduced your villains and stuff, and then they had a nice little scene before that. Excuse me. After that, where they had Ocean Master and Aquaman, they had a little duel. That was pretty cool. Underwater trident duel or whatever, and they had a whole little crowd. They did it like kind of like a old school medieval, match or whatever, but it was underwater. Yeah. That was dope. So
that was cool.
Right. So cool. The movie was pretty good up to that point. I was having fun with it, and then it slowed down for me personally. Once they got done with that scene, Arthur and
it was all into the treasure hunt.
Right. Arthur and Mara went to this little treasure hunt, and they was on this little rom-com, something tell me I'm into something good. You know what I'm saying? They was doing that they was doing that shit, traveling around, skipping and shit.
They set the tone of that whole part of the movie so well, just with them on the plane, and then the cover of Africa. When they covered after, the way that comes in, it's like, oh crap, are we watching this kind of movie now?
Yeah, so and to me, because I say it played like rom-com stuff, because while they trying to find clues, it was like obvious clues, and then of course this means that, and stuff like that. So that played for like 20 minutes or so. Cool. And then this pushed to, and this is where the movie kind of lost a little points. This pushed to the finishing up of the movie, and it went to a straight cliche moment. We found a trident, and we go find the magic super duper trident, and guess what? My mom is here, and this is spoiler discussion because I had to. So his mother was missing. They thought she was dead, okay? And then they kind of played it off as, we never found the body, but we're pretty sure she's dead. That means she's still alive somewhere. We know this. So I said, okay.
If there's no body, ain't nobody dead, right?
That's movie logic. If you can't find a body, that means that person's alive somewhere, okay? Unless they fall into a volcano or some shit. Then if they lie somewhere, then I'm calling bullshit on your movie. So this played off so cliched, man. And then this is the part where the movie start to make me roll my eyes a little bit, because it was fun up to that part. But when it gets to now they need to find the trident, they finally get to the trident, and his mom is there. Now I tell you, early in the movie, they said, "Oh, your mom died. We didn't find a body, but we're pretty sure she died or whatever, and we haven't seen her, since then or whatever." So they do this reveal when they get there. they fighting these little things. Somebody save them, and you don't know who it is. And I said, it's the mom. Like, I just knew it. You know what I'm saying?
Like the very second, it's like, oh, that's clearly the mom.
Yeah, I mean, then also Nicole Kidman, she played the mom, and she like 6 foot tall. So it's like she had like this little mask on, but she had a woman's body, and I was like, oh, that's Nicole Kidman, that's the mom. You know what I'm saying? You can clearly see when she was standing next to Amber Heard, she was like down there 5 inches taller than her. You know what I'm saying? So they had that little cliche moment. So now I got to fight for the trident, and whoever's protecting the trident had to do this big fight scene with him or whatever, so you couldn't get the trident. Was you bought in on that?
And that whole scene was just, even like the way they foreshadowed it, like I didn't like. Much like the rom-com stuff, I didn't need it. We're finally here. Can we please get this movie wrapped up? Nah, we got to sit and watch him run from this thing and then try to talk it down. And
that's what I was saying. At this point, they needed to move the movie along faster to me, because I'm looking like you can get to your climax, and this was like a pre-climax, because to get the trident, he had to fight this big, basically the Kraken, I guess. He had to fight it, you know, and then once he fought it, he tamed it, and then now it's working for him. Hey, did you see the?
But like, and the worst thing.
Did you see the Transformers Age of Extinction?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you remember when he had to tame the Dinobots, and it took like
when he had to tame Grimlock?
Yeah, and it took like 3 minutes. He like fought Grimlock for like 3 minutes, and next you know he riding them and shit. It was the same thing.
Like, and like, I have the same problem with both of these sequences, because it's like you went through the trouble of establishing this monstrous thing as a character, and then you spend the rest of the movie treating it like some big mom.
Well, see, that's what they do, where it's like they introduce this, basically the Kraken, and that's like a big squid-like monster or whatever, and you're a tough warrior. Now I'm gonna work for you. I'm like, okay. So it's like at this point, I was like, we didn't need this scene. So that was another 5 minutes of him fighting the Kraken thing. Then he got the trident, and then he got his original Aquaman clothes. And I already got your thoughts on that.
Yeah.
Real quick for the people, how did you think of the Aquaman outfit?
Man, it was like, it's not even a bad outfit at this point, which is the worst thing about it. It's not a bad fit. It's just, it does not suit him at all.
Yeah, and I was thinking the Justice League outfit is way better, actually. People want to shit on Justice League, but there's a lot of good things you can take out of that.
The Justice League outfit actually looks like something the King might wear.
Yeah, it looks badass. That shit, it looked like I said on the first review, they just gave you an Easter egg, and then he gonna take that shit off when he get home. He better.
Yeah. Man, you don't get an Aquaman 2 wearing that, homie.
Yeah, I know. So this is where the movie was just dragged on a little too long for me. So at this point, he's got the super duper trident. He fought the Kraken. The Kraken's working for him now. The Kraken is his pet now, and so you know where this go from here, right? The Ocean Master.
Oh yeah.
The Ocean Master is, he's in charge now. So now he's gonna make his last fight to the Ocean Master. Patrick Wilson character. What's his name? We'll just call him Ocean Master. What is it?
Prince Orm.
Okay, yeah. So Prince Orm, which is controlling everything now. You knew he was gonna make his last attack on him. This all play out the same way, and it was gonna set up for like one last, because the first fight Prince Orm beat Aquaman because he can fight underwater and Aquaman used to fight on land. So that was the little difference they tried.
Yeah,
take them to you.
it's kind of the same like Zod versus Superman. Like once Zod gets used to his powers, it's kind of over.
Yeah, right. So that was the way they balanced them out. They was like, well, take them on land and fight them because that's your element. And then so he took them on land and they fought, and no surprise, he beat him. I mean, Aquaman beat him or whatever.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Everything played by the
And
numbers.
he used their well, like not only that, but like he beat him with the Aquaman version of the Crane Kick.
What is that? I don't remember.
I mean, like because they showed Willem Dafoe's character teaching him that move with the trident.
Okay, and who didn't see that move coming back? It was it was basically Chekhov's gun. They set you up.
Yeah.
They set you up with that. I'm like, well, we got to see that move later in the end. So that's probably going to be the move he used to, I mean, which is okay. And
it wasn't even necessary either.
Yeah, I know. But okay, they foreshadowed the move, so he did his little super move with the super duper trident or whatever, and it was cool. Like I said, it played by the numbers. That's why I was like, okay, wrap this up because I had my fun with the action scenes when when Black Manta attacked him and all that. I had my fun with that, and I knew this was gonna wrap up, but I think they should have wrapped it up a little quicker. They should have took the whole scene out with him getting the trident. I know he had to get it, but tell the truth, he could have just went back with the knowledge of let me get him on land and then fight him instead of I need to get the super trident. So we had to go on this we had to go on this little treasure hunt and find this trident, and then you have to fight the Kraken for 5 minutes to get the trident. Then you have to reunite with your mom. We didn't need all the extra shit. You know what I'm saying?
Not even a little bit.
That's what took it down for me. All the little extra stuff they tried to put too much, into it. It could have been simple and just fun, and that would have been the end of it. They were just a victim of them trying a little too hard,
Yeah.
That's why I said by the time when he was fighting the trident, when he was fighting the Kraken, I kind of started to check out like this ain't over yet because this should be the end.
Yeah.
That scene where when all that stuff was taking place, the movie should have been wrapping up. But it wasn't. It had 20 more minutes left. So that was my problems with that ending. It was like basically when something happens too late, even if it's pretty good, you kind of not even invested in it,
Definitely.
So, yeah, you got any final thoughts, man, before I wrap that up?
Like Aquaman is like a cautionary tale at this point, how what should be an amazing movie can get dragged down by bad writing, poor pacing, too many cliches. Like anything
that's the only way they know how to
movie,
write these days.
Yeah. Like everything else in this movie was either great or acceptable.
Yeah. Right. But I heard it's tracking good and it's gonna make a lot of money. So I ain't trying to tell nobody don't see it. It just you'll have some fun with it. But if you're looking for something new and different, you're not gonna get that, especially not with the writing. So just have the fun you want. Just have the fun with the visuals and the action. That's the best thing you can pull from this movie to me is the visuals and the action. Because story, you can just watch The Little Mermaid and be happy with that. You know what I'm saying? You could get it's the same story. You know and somebody else told me that.
We would have done better if they had made a gritty reboot of The Little Mermaid.
Dude, if this was The Little Mermaid 2.0 or whatever, I'd have been like, yeah, this is the best Little Mermaid ever. But yeah. And we can talk a little bit before I wrap up, talk about the Stinger. So the Stinger.
Oh.
So so Black Manta attacked him maybe. Black Manta was on screen not that much. He was on screen maybe 3-4 times. He attacked him in the first time, like we was talking about, when Aquaman left his dad for dead. And you seen him getting more weapons, and then he attacked him another time. And I mean, dude got screen presence just for the short time he was on there. But so they did this whole thing, same thing we was talking about. They had him get, hurt, but they didn't show a body. You know he wasn't dead. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and then he somehow he washed up, even though they weren't, anywhere near where the guy who found him was. Somehow he found him.
We don't know how far he was adrift, so we cool. Whatever. Maybe he was using his little rocket boosters to go so far, and then he just couldn't go no farther, and the dude found him. Whatever. Put the pieces together.
Whatever.
But the thing is, the end stinger, I knew because they didn't show him again. I said, oh, they're gonna show Black Manta and end stinger. But what I was holding out hope for was Lex Luthor to show up. Was like, we putting together a team, and we think you would be useful on our team. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping for that to happen because
that's what I was sure the stinger was going to be. Like,
because Black Manta was a regular member of Legion of Doom.
Yeah, so that's what I was looking for. I was so sure they're clearly they keep making these solo films. They can make stingers on all these. Lex Luthor getting the Legion of Doom together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then just in time for another ensemble film, the Legion of Doom.
Right, and I'm looking like, dude, that's the right direction. Please do that. But they gave you a stinger with Black Manta, and basically, I don't know who was that other guy. Was that supposed to be somebody
in the clue?
Okay, so they had like a scientist or something find him and was looking at his tech, was like, dude, you got some dope ass tech. And he's like, it's Atlantean tech, and he's like, if I help you rebuild this shit, will you help me? He's like, yeah. All I want is one thing in return. Give me that motherfucker. And it was a picture of Aquaman. So that was a stinger, which you like, okay, Black Manta's gonna return for revenge or whatever. But I don't think they want to connect it to the Justice League, because I think they want to try to wipe out their whole universe. So I think that's what they're trying to do.
And they refused to admit that the problem with Justice League was they tried to get there too quick.
They tried to get there too quick, and they cut his movie to 2 hours because he said originally he had planned a 2-part, 4-hour film that 2 hours A and 2 hours B. So it was gonna have one half come out one year, the other half come out the next year. That was his original plan. So they was like, no, we just want one movie, take all that shit, shove it into one movie, and it's only gonna be 2 hours. Okay, damn.
Yeah, they really fucked with the shit.
Right. And I'm thinking, like, if they would have kept going with the Legion of Doom, that would have been dope, because right now, in the middle of all these movies, instead of somebody recruiting good guys, they're recruiting bad guys. That would have been something different from Marvel. So instead of having Nick Fury show up on every superhero at the end, like, hey, we putting together a team, what you think? No, now we got Lex Luthor coming to us like, hey, we about to fuck these superheroes in the ass with no Vaseline. Are you down? You know what I'm saying?
Like, and he's gonna come in there reminding them just how bad they got beat.
Right.
But what if you had a little bit of backup?
Right. Right. I'm telling you, join our team. We're gonna put a foot up these superhero ass. What you think? And I just got my ass handed to me, so I'm looking like, where I sign up, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. It's like, because the way I'm looking is like they already gonna have Cheetah in the Wonder Woman movie. If they manage the Flash movie, they probably gonna have Rod. So like, for you and me looking at it, it's so simple.
Right. But see, like I said, I think they want to separate themselves from the Justice League. They want to separate themselves from the Justice League, and so they couldn't use Jesse Eisenberg and all that shit. And I am down for getting a new Lex Luthor. Like, if they just pop up with Billy Zane and say, hey, I'm Lex Luthor now. Or did I look different because whatever, don't ask questions.
Well, like, no, like, they've already established that that Jesse Eisenberg is Lex Luthor Jr. So it's like,
right.
Look, I know my son was doing some shit while I was gone, but I'm back now.
Right.
You know.
So Lex Luthor Sr. comes back and put together the team. I'm down for that. I'm all the way down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't. I think they trying to separate from there, and I think that's a mistake. We'll see though, and I'm thinking like if we got to look forward to good visuals, which they probably took a lot of those good visuals from Zack Snyder's. They took a lot of cues from Zack Snyder to make these visuals or whatever, and what you bring to the table is rom-coms and cliche moments. You ain't gonna move. You ain't gonna look too good without Zack. You know what I'm saying? Bring in some good writers, and you got to keep Zack in there for the visuals and art style. You know, that's
like
the way.
At least have him on as like director of photography or something.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, if they trying to separate from it all the way together, I think they're not gonna survive on their own. Because if looking forward, we got Shazam. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Looking forward, yes.
Yeah, what I'm saying, stuff like that. That means you trying to clean your tone of your universe up so much that you're gonna turn to Kitty Land. It's too late for that. Marvel already got that tone, and you trying to jump into the tone to make it more PG-13, or I think it's too late for that, man. You just got to keep moving what you got.
Because like you and me have been saying for the longest now, they need to stop chasing Marvel and just make their movies.
Exactly. All right. So we're gonna wrap up Aquaman. Spoiler discussion. It was a good movie. It's worth going to see. Not their best movie. I actually liked Justice League a little better than that, tell the truth. But it was definitely better than Suicide Squad. It was I mean, I don't know. I guess it was a little better than BVS. The Ultimate Edition was a little way better than the theater cut of BVS. So I mean, you can rate these movies any way you can. I mean, you can rate these movies. They got different. I'm trying to say, like, they're interchangeable. What I'm saying is, you could just put them in any order. You know what I'm saying? But I know Suicide Squad is last, and one of them is first. In the middle, you can do whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So I got one more thing I'm gonna show you, man, before we wrap up, dude. I know you ain't seen this yet, so hold on.